Have you played through the Archon quest yet, travelers? A few weeks ago, on October 22nd, the Luna 2/6.1 update dropped, and we in the Genshin community were blessed with a new character, 2 Archon reruns, well, technically, 2 acts for the Archon quest, the Miliastra Wonderland, a new boss for materials, and much, much more. First, let's dive into the 2 limited-time featured character banners that are up. Nefer, our lovely new Dendro Catalyst DPS character from the Curatorium of Secrets, and Farina, the community's favorite Hydro Sword support character who spent too long being forced to act as the Hydro Archon of Fontaine. Thank God she gets a break now. Because I'm saving up for the slew of upcoming characters and their weapons, I did not pull for Nefer or Farina, but I did try out them both, of course, and I love the way Nefer moves! Her kicks are especially elegant as well as fierce for me, which was fun to see and to play as. She and Yelan have the same elegance level, if you ask me. Nefer, I'm coming for your next rerun. Moving on to Miss Farina. I had been a little lazy when it came to learning how to switch between her fighting self and her healing self, but luckily, this time around, I felt a lot better about learning how her mechanics work where I was originally a little confused before. I'll definitely pull for her soon, but Columbina will be my next Hydro character I pull for. Just you wait. Now, about the Archon quest continuation. Travelers, let me tell you, I was so glad to be home alone so I could squeal and giggle and kick my feet and simply emote freely because oh my Archons. It absolutely sent me. Seeing Varka and Durin for the first time and then Arlecchino again, I was a mess, let me tell you. And that's just about the characters. I actually wrote 7 pages of detailed notes with my reactions, commentary, and whatnot on Acts 3 and 4 of the Archon quest to prepare for this video that's gonna be longer than 5 minutes, but I scaled it down for you big-time travelers, don't you worry. But before we dive into the Archon quest fully, I just have one thing to say about the Miliastra Wonderland, and that is... what the hell, devs? What the hell? That's all. Anyway, now to jump in with both feet. Act 3 of the Archon quest. Here we go. I was at the edge of my seat the whole time. I always love the energetic feel I get when that little title card shows up at the beginning of the act and at the end where there's a sense of completion and accomplishment. Let me know if you feel the same in the comments below. Now, I saw some people on Instagram, I'm on Instagram at thisismycap, by the way, saying that the initial fight between Rerir and Columbina at the beginning felt rushed. And I have to agree. I understood what they were going for, but there wasn't enough suspense built up. So suddenly I was in it, and then I wasn't. And I was like, well, okay. I also just wanted to ask, and maybe it's me not seeing anything online, but why has no one compared Rerir's Phantom Hands to Ganon's Gloom Hands from Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom? That was my first thought, and I wanted to point that out because I hadn't seen anyone do that yet. Let me know if you've seen anything that I'm just not seeing. Anyway, I was very entranced by both Rerir and Columbina's fighting. I really expected the devs to make Rerir a weekly Trounce Domain boss, and was bummed to find he wasn't added this patch. I want him to come back as one! But oh god, Columbina made me so much more excited to pull for her because based on what they showed us, she's probably going to be a Catalyst character, and possibly a Shield character, which would be very interesting to see. I'd also love to see them add in her super cute gliding as her sprint. It looked like she was ice skating or roller skating. Let's jump ahead to my favorite part of the Archon quest, meeting Varka! I had both good and bad reactions to his part in all of this, mainly because I felt they did him kind of dirty. His initial entrance was cool, yeah, but low-key, and I expected to see him in action. He's the Grand Master for crying out loud, and he's on the younger looking side, so I assumed he'd be way more involved in battle in any capacity beyond just simple delegation. That being said, holy moly. He is so tall, so pretty, and so much more buff than any other male character before. No hate to the other male characters, of course. I still love them. But Varka cracked me up. Especially his little awkward silence moment with Flynn's. That was hysterical. Before I get into this next part, I just want to state that my opinions changed as the quest went on, but I was unimpressed with Nefer in terms of her portrayal in the quest at the beginning. Like, girl, the fate of Tavad is at stake and you still want money? It wasn't very selfless, and I was pretty inept with that.
For you. How dare you! Learn something from this!
I was also kind of disappointed with her portrayal in the desert growing up, despite being understanding of what she's been through as someone who has been through a hard childhood myself. From a Nefer fan's eyes, I think they did her a disservice by making her past come up so abruptly without truly giving us time to understand her and feel bad for her and truly learn about her in a more evenly paced way. I still like her overall, of course. She even felt like the hero of these two acts of the quest, but some qualities she was given rubbed me wrong at first. Sorry. But I was more unimpressed with Dainsleif and how he was written in the past. I always saw him as this knight in Conry at times who was betrayed by his friends, and I felt bad for him. But then I learned his jerk of a brother aided in driving Rerir to madness, and Dane himself didn't seem like a good friend anyway. Plus, if he hadn't asked Rerir to join him and the other future sinners that night, Rerir would have probably minded his own business, maybe even saved the Lindis. And I'm a huge sucker for true love, so hate me if you want, but this quest made me feel a lot more iffy about Dainsleif from the way I understood his role in the past. And yes, I know Rerir did terrible deeds, but he felt guilty about it and eventually tried to turn it around. If he didn't feel guilty at all, I'd call him a psychopath and move on with my life. But the man was in love. He and the Lindis were so cute together, I was absolutely rooting for them. Back to being super excited and giggly about characters, Arlecchino's up next. I was so excited to see her, and I was so happy to hear that Sandrone used to host tea parties for herself, Columbina, Arlecchino, Signora, and sometimes even Capitano and Tartaglia. So cute. Love the lore that was dropped surrounding the Harbingers especially. Those were all of my notes from Act 3 summed up as swiftly as I could make it, and now we are moving on to Act 4. The first note I wrote in my notebook was in all caps and took up 3 lines of space, similar to how I excitedly wrote Varka when he first appeared, and this time I was writing Durin! I thought he was just adorable. His looks, his mannerisms, even his voice. I also loved how he and Albedo called each other brothers. It warmed my heart to know Durin was in good hands. And speaking of, have you seen his double burst and splash art for it? It's just beautiful. I'd love to pull for him now, but I'm tied down by Columbina, Varka, and Alice, plus their signature weapons, so I'll get you in a rerun too, Durin! I also wrote down when Flynn's was encouraging Lauma to get Nefer instead of himself, married old couple banter. Not that I necessarily shipped them, but I thought their back and forth was fun, sassy, yet familiar in a friendship way. And while everyone was in the hideout, I wrote down, "We've got a bunch of goofballs in here," with a smiley face at the end because it felt so jovial and hopeful to have all these amazing people there in one room. Very heroic. In regards to Rerir's past again, I find it interesting and not surprising that once again the Abyss is to be blamed for the creation of the 5 sinners. Also, good job devs for letting us play as Rerir as he goes through his paperwork, because that was as unsettling as it was tedious. Which was probably how he felt, and they did a great job conveying that to us, I felt. And when we got to the chest portion of the flashback, I noticed Rerir's chest piece looked collared and muzzled/blindfolded at certain times. Eventually, I realized the golden band wasn't around his eyes, but I felt it resonate with me, unless I'm grasping at straws here, because it was symbolic of his situation with his forced occupation as executioner from being an orphan, and then just trying to do his best while lying to Thalindis so she didn't think he was a total monster, balanced with his own grappling guilt. And when the memories ended, I was actually crying in my recliner, clutching my PlayStation controller because I was so moved and so saddened for Rerir and Thalindis. They weren't perfect, nowhere near, but I was rooting for their love. It got to the point where I almost stopped playing because it just drained me emotionally and I almost had to stop. But then I was confused and annoyed when we ended up in Sumeru and just wanted nothing to do with it for a second. I appreciate the lore we got for Nefer mostly, but it felt so completely veered off the path we were on that I was just momentarily annoyed. Although, this line did catch my eye, quote, "fair-skinned for a desert dweller," end quote, and I was like, wow. Racism both in and out of the game, huh? Unless they knowingly added this line to poke fun at us in the community who think Genshin could use a little more genuine diversity in their characters. Luckily, I was pulled back into the action when Rerir infected Nefer's memories, and I was actually excited to get back to the actual quest instead of what felt like whiplash, because this side lore drop felt so abrupt. Although, that was probably the point to be as jarring as it was for both us as well as the characters experiencing it. Unfortunately, I stopped writing many notes after Sumeru because I really just wanted to immerse myself into the story without having to pause and write things down. But the way they designed the final battle was very well done, well written, not too rushed, and I'm glad they kept us as players in the dark so we could experience the plan as it was unfolding, because I was shocked and thrilled, and admittedly kind of yelling "yeah" in excitement at my TV. And honestly, part of me wished they'd made Nefer blind for real. Hear me out before you throw your tomatoes at me. It would have felt a lot more heroic and like a self-sacrificing contribution to the plan. Considering I felt her character in the beginning was a little selfish, this would have made for a good character arc, showing that she, as basically the hero of these two acts, was now the most selfless. Now, granted, I don't want any of them to get hurt, obviously, but for the plot, that's just my opinion. Wrapping up, I wanted to know how they were gonna bring Rerir back, if at all, but I was also in awe of how Columbina had opened up and gotten stronger, because I really am rooting for her too, obviously. I cannot wait to pull for her and add her to my new team. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Acts 3 and 4 of the Nodcry Archon quest. Don't forget to like and subscribe just like that at the drop of a hat. Thanks for hanging out under the cap. Stay cozy, travelers.